it's Becky, and I'm just going to do a quick chat and catch up with you today, just to go over the things that I made this week, what I'm doing now, and what my plans are for the next week, and just let you know how things are going with me. I did not do a ton of creating. I didn't post a ton of videos this week. I hope you guys weren't missing me too much, but I had life things. Sometimes life gets lifey, y'all know how that goes. But I did make a couple of things with the Jesse James beads, Magical Mystery Bead Box. I made this awesome necklace. I'm really happy with it, and I finished it with some silver silk leather chain, and I made it long enough that it'll go over my head. And these are just some earrings that I had already made because I did not get around to making the earrings to go with this yet, and it hangs really nicely. I love that. And there's room here that I could like wear it with another necklace, do some layering, that sort of thing. And then I made a bracelet again with Jesse James beads. This was the first thing that I made this week, and that was just with the leather chain and the Magical Mystery Bead Box for February. It was the one that was La Dolce Vita, which just is full of just really, really luscious colors and beads, and it's a lot of fun to make things with. But this isn't like the luscious colors. These are the calming, like relaxing by the sea kind of colors that are just really fun to wear. And then I made another reason why I didn't post as many videos is because I spent a lot of time making some bead weaving projects, because I had to come up with a design which involves a lot of putting the beads together and sewing them together and then ripping it out and then starting over again and then ripping them out and starting over again, and like figuring out like how all of these beads will fit together. And it was for this Ginkgo Kiss bracelet that I did, and this was the example one. And then for my actual tutorial I used this color, which is so great. I love these. And these were the February curated collection from Beads to Live By. And then this button, I love this button. It was in my button stash. A couple years ago, and I challenged myself to make a cardigan every month for like an entire year, and I was like, you know what, I need buttons for that. So I bought a ton of buttons because of course I did. And so I've had this in my button stash, and it's just goes so well with these colors that like, why wouldn't I use it, right? So those are like the things that I made. It's 3 bracelets and a necklace, but they took a lot of time. Not all of them. This one was quick. You guys saw me do that one. But the other ones did take a little bit of time. And also I had life stuff happening, which happens, you know. I think all of us experience that, where like sometimes you have more time that you can commit to creative endeavors and more time that you have to commit to family and to making sure things run smoothly, and, you know, administrative things within your house and all of that fun. Not as fun, but sort of fun if you want to. But what I'm working on now, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not wearing a ton of makeup and my hair's not all pretty, is because I am in the middle of an organization project. And I filmed a couple of parts where I combined some of my half-empty bead boxes. These are all empty. These are all empty because I took all the beads that were in them and I put them all out. But I combined some of the boxes, and then I just dumped all of the other boxes. Hold on. This is over 10 pounds of beads into this. Look at my soup. Look at my soup. So I'm in the middle of filming this, and I'm probably going to be uploading it either tomorrow or the next day. I told y'all I would be doing some sorting, and that's what I'm doing. Sorting through my old bead boxes to get them sorted into my longer term stash. And for longer term stash, I have these, they're basically like embroidery floss organizers. They have really deep wells, and there's a lot of them. And so I can sort these into there. And then if I want some of those beads, I can go pull them out of here it's so deep that it's awkward to design out of, which is why I use my smaller boxes, because I can like actually get to all of the beads at the bottom of these. And that's why I use these when I'm making the jewelry out of them. But if I want to grab some things from my stash or add some things to something else, I can go in, get these out of here, and get them in there. And I actually have a couple of these that I'm going to be putting these beads into during this whole organization project, because it's a lot of work, and that's, I kind of saved up like stacks and stacks of boxes to do that. Let me show you what all I have emptied. That's not even all of them. There's more. Hold on. Oh, wait. There's more. So many of these. And there's actually even more back in the other thing, but these were just the ones that I emptied today. But they're ready to go, and I figured out, because I've been trying to think of ways to organize my like my findings and things. So you know how you get like bead caps and little spacers and things like that in some of the bead boxes, and then you've got those left over and you're like, okay, where do I put them? How do I store them? And because I was emptying a bunch of Jesse James beads bead mixes, I was like, I have all these containers, let's put findings in them. Like if I have a certain size and color of daisy spacers, I can put all of those in this one. And like, it's gonna work out really, really well. Hold on, actually, because this, I stuck this smaller one because I had all this room in here with these little rondelles. And then I've got this little thing that has some clasps, and I kind of shove the rondelles over a little bit, put that in there, and I can close it, and it's in a little thing, and I can grab them whenever I want to. So I think I figured out a good solution for that, and that's going to be a totally separate project, because while I'm sorting these beads out, I'm just going to sort the beads. I'm going to separate out all of those findings, the spacers, all of those, and put them together into a little tin, which is this one. It's just a tin I got from HEB. That's a Texas thing. It's a grocery store chain. If you're from Texas, you probably know about it. You probably have bought those cookies, but that's where those are going. But there's tons of like bead mixes and bead boxes that I've gotten that you get some of the same beads in and some of the same spacers and all of that. So being able to maybe combine all of those, like one bead from this one with two beads from that one, it's gonna make for, you know, more of those. But it's a long and drawn out process, and it's already taken me like 2 days just to get to the point where I am going to be pulling these together and taking them out of this this guy and sorting through it. So I thought I'd pop on real quick, do my catch up with y'all, let you know how we're doing, and what my plans are for this next week. So after I'm done with my sorting, I do have a plan for another bracelet video. I had so much fun making these, but it's bead weaving as the method that I'm using, and I kept trying to think of a way that I could do something similar-ish, but not quite, with some beading wire. And I think my solution is going to be using like a larger 2-hole bead, but then instead of doing the little right angle weave unit that I did on the sides, I'm just going to use like a smaller 2-hole bead. And I actually have beads in some of my bead boxes that will fit that bill. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be a little bracelet bash, and we're going to have a fun little time using some, I'll use the Soft Flex kit. I'll use the, I think the dollar bead box. We're going to have some of those in there. I'll go through a couple of the others. I think my gemstone orphanage box will fit the bill for that too, which I also really want to make something with that, because that heart is gorgeous. It is so pretty. So I'm going to have a gemstone orphanage make this next week. We're going to do another bracelet bash. So that will be sometime probably near the beginning of the week, because that's fresh in my mind. So we'll have a gemstone orphanage thing. We'll have that. and it is National Craft Month. So I'm going to be trying out a new to me craft, and I would like to share that with y'all while I'm doing it. You can watch me fiddle with it and learn from it and make some mistakes and then figure out how to not make those mistakes. It'll be really fun. I signed up for a class. It is jewelry making adjacent for this. It's kind of like when I learned how to spin yarn. That's knitting adjacent, but it's a different craft. It just, you can use the products that you make. So I am going to be learning how to do polymer clay beads, and I had signed up for it. It's this weekend with Heather at Humble Beads. She is teaching us how to do polymer bead. And so that's going to be a lot of fun to do. And although the class said it was geared towards people of all experience levels, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable following along if I have a little bit of experience under my belt before that. So one of these nights, we're going to sit down with some polymer clay that I have, because I had some at my house because I had kits that I never opened and never started working with. And so I've had like things to be able to make with those. I didn't have to buy a lot of extra stuff to do this. But it's part of the whole reason why I even started jewelry making, is because I was trying out hobbies. I was auditioning new hobbies. And it was like pandemic happened, but around the same time I was also not training as much for powerlifting. So I wasn't spending 3 or 4 hours at the gym 4 nights a week. So I had more time in my day, and we were working from home instead of me having to spend an hour traveling to work and an hour traveling home. So I was like, what do I do with all this time? I gotta have a hobby that's not just knitting, because knitting's great and everything, but I was also really feeling like I needed some things that I could get a more of an immediate look what I did sort of thing, which is jewelry making is fantastic for that, because like knitting, you can spend weeks on something and it's not done. Which, I mean, why am I like this? But but jewelry making, you can sit down and in 10 minutes you can have a gorgeous pair of earrings. You can put a necklace together in 20. It's something that can give you that immediate serotonin hit of like, look, I made something, I accomplished something, I am finished doing this thing. It's such a great hobby for that. And it's one of the reasons that I enjoy it. I spent a lot of time trying out different crafts though, when I was finding out if I liked this or not. I did a lot of embroidery. I love embroidery. It's really fun. It takes more time than jewelry making, but less time than knitting to finish a project. So, I could finish a wreath with some words on it within a couple of days instead of spending like a month knitting a sweater like this. Because that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So I did that. And one of the things that I did was I signed up for some craft of the month type clubs. One of them was the, what was it? Maker Crate. It was something like that. It was one of those, Kiwi Crate, but it was like their Maker Crate sort of thing. And they have really good like crates and boxes, and one of them was polymer clay, but it was polymer clay like little sculptures, not earrings or anything. And I never got around to opening it or playing with those things. So I've got some blocks and I've got some tools and I've got some things that I can use to make with that. And another thing was the way that I figured out that I liked jewelry making was I signed up for the Annie's kits, and there was the is it Simply Jewels or Simply Beads? Simply Beads, that one. And one of the kits they sent was polymer clay earrings, and that sat in a drawer for like a couple of years. And I was kind of expecting the clay to be dead, but it's actually pliable, and it is something that you can use. I felt it. It's squishy. It indents when I stick my finger in it. So I've got those, and I've got the maker crate from my Kiwi Club, and I'm going to sit down at some point and play around with it and see if I can make some little polymer clay cutouts. We'll bake them in my oven. I have a cookie sheet that I was gonna throw out because I was like, every time I put it in there, it like buckles in the oven. And it's like a little too small for most purposes, but it would be great for sticking clay beads on, because the clay beads aren't going to go anywhere when it buckles, and it'll be fine, and I can just dedicate that for bead making. And I think that'll be really fun. I think it'll be really fun to figure out and to learn and to do. And I hope you guys enjoy figuring that out with me or just watching me. And if you guys have any tips for working with polymer clay, let me know, because it's not something that I've done before, and it would be really useful. I will take any advice and any just anything that you can help me to learn how to do that. But I think it's gonna be really fun. It's the class that I'm taking, I think it starts Thursday or Friday this next weekend, and it's this coming week. But it's going to be like several hours. There's Zoom components to it. It's going to be pretty intensive class and course. So I signed up for that. Still waiting. I think my materials that she's sending, they should arrive tomorrow. So I'll have those. But I mean, I bought a pasta maker like specifically for doing with these things, because it was one of the, you need to have this for the class situation. So I'm like, well, if I'm buying all this equipment for this one class, I may as well make sure that I can do more than just this class with it. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So I've got beads to sort, and then I'll have beads to make, and then I'm going to have some beads that I'm going to be designing with, and that is what's happening with me this week. As long as, you know, no emergencies happen or, you know, anything weird like that. But we should have some fun with those. And I think I might, if I have time this coming weekend, I will sit down and do my painting and joy making. Because I had an idea when I was unboxing the curated bead box for last month, or this month. The one that had all of the green and blue colors and the dragonfly, I haven't made anything with that yet, because I've been saving it for my painting and doing all of that. So I'm gonna do that. So we'll do that. Maybe I'll do that Thursday. We'll do that, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a hard and set schedule, because right now a lot of things need to be in flux for just having flexibility in my schedule and the things that I do, you know, which I do. But anyway, I am going to finish sorting this. It's going to take me a while. And then once everything is sorted and I've got my videos edited and spliced together and done all of that, I'll get it uploaded and you guys can watch me play with beads. Because, oh my gosh, there's so many of these. Oh, hold on. It's heavy. It's really heavy. So many beads. So many beads. Don't know what to do with all of them. But I'll get it figured out. It's actually kind of fun to just run my fingers through it. And I don't know if you guys ever do that, but like it's kind of cool. And I'm enjoying that part, that little aspect of it. But anyway, I just wanted to catch up with y'all, let you know how I'm doing, and I hope you guys have been having a great weekend and have been making some things and enjoying any good weather that you've been having as well. It's nice to get out when the weather starts turning nice. It has been turning nice here in Central Texas. Nice enough to sit out on a porch for a while. No, we don't have a lot of mosquitoes yet, so yeah. I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.